because I've got this camera. I had it all set up to stream. It was about to be in there like swimwear. And guess who's back on their phone? Because the camera won't let me be great. All right, so I mean, my lighting is set up so wonderfully, like all the things. And while I have a decent phone, I did not want to stream from my phone. I literally just sat here for like a minute trying to set this whole thing up. And I was like, yes, today's the day. I'm finally going to stream from my camera properly. I've got all the things. I've got my mic set up. Well, I've always got the mic set up. Singer always had the mic. Got the lighting set up perfectly. My camera, I mean, it was looking impeccable. It was so good. And then all of a sudden, it just won't. I don't know what's happening. It's so like, oh, all right, whatever. Like, I really had to pray because I have a whole attitude right now about spending so much time on this setup. And I know that I've had it work before, so I don't even understand why it's giving me the time it's giving me. So, just gonna go through this attitude right now. Listen. And for all of that, I could have like put myself together. I was like, no, I'm gonna jump online really quick. I'm just gonna throw a hoodie on because I gotta get it done and I want to get it done. Here we are, undone. So oh, this is me attempting to get myself together. Oh my gosh, like just compared to the light that I had before, like all right, let me stop saying the word because I don't want to stay there. Whatever. Greatness prevention. It's like somebody is just attempting to be a greatness preventer with me. It will not let me be great. That's all right. Yes. What is this? This is my first meal. I woke up I didn't even wake up late. I woke up at a decent time, but I was in the bed for a long period of time because I've been rehearsing. In these rehearsals, as you can see, I'm in a hotel right now because I've been rehearsing. And it's really taxing. But I'm appreciative. It's not a complaint. I'm just telling y'all what it is. Because a lot of people think singing is easy, and it's not. It's a job. Hence, it's my job. So, my goodness, I'm so flustered right now that I'm attempting to get myself together. But nonetheless, I'm together. Forget it. The topic I want to discuss today, first of all, intro. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Tanikka Charraé. I am a professional singer. I sing professionally background. I'm an independent artist as well. I'm a singer, songwriter, vocal producer, and I have an all vocal agency called The Background View, where we serve as the liaison between elite vocalists and artists, in addition to educating vocalists on how to become business savvy. So, if you're watching this right now, you are looking to become business savvy, and that's amazing. You know, the mic is doing whatever I want to do, but it's fine. It's fine because we're gonna fix this attitude. I'm not gonna have an attitude today, not over no camera, even though the camera is attempting to work in cahoots with the devil, but that's fine. With that being said, I wanted to come on here. I've been on here. This is my third day consistently. I'm very, very happy. That's why that thing tried to wear me out because it was like, you're going to not do it. And I'm like, no, I am going to be consistent today. But I wanted to discuss some topics. As you can see, there's a whole playlist for you if you are really looking to be a professional singer and you really want to take your professional singing career seriously, or your singing career, I should say, seriously, because if you're taking your singing career seriously, you're pretty much attempting to be or aiming to be a professional singer. So I've got a bunch of videos if you would like to become a professional singer. And we're discussing different topics, and I just want to educate vocalists on how to become a professional singer and remain a professional singer, because I really believe that a lot of folks are not pursuing their passions and their dreams and their inspirations because they're unsure of how to sustain the actual lifestyle. So I want to just give different tips, tools, and helpful guides, if you will, that will allow for you to become a professional singer and remain a professional singer. I've been a professional singer for about 14, 15 years. And COVID was probably the first time that I actually got to get a job for a steady income teaching. And since I've become a professional singer, excuse me, and all that just means is that COVID lasted a really long time. And yeah, there was just a lot happening. And I want to be able to just help implement some tools. If you're thinking about taking your singing more seriously, how to actually go about doing that. If you are taking your professional singing career seriously, how to expound on that, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, today's topic that I would like to discuss is actually networking. Yes. So please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. Like, comment, subscribe. Um, Leave me a message below. Okay. Let me know some of the topics you want to discuss. I have a whole playlist of topics that I actually already have discussed, and I have some more material that I am planning to release and give away to you guys for free. So please let me know below if you're finding these videos helpful, some of the topics that you would like to discuss, and some of the things you just may have some questions on, or some of the things that you would just like some direction on, and pointed direction to. So today I want to discuss networking. So I was talking to God, I was like, hey, what you want me to talk to the people about today? Because I have a whole list, right? And this is me attempting to set up the camera. And I'm like, what do I want to discuss today? Because I really want to discuss something that is uh, helpful, but I want to keep it in a free form discussion style. So I don't have like tips, if you will, like I normally do on some of the other videos, but I do have knowledge, I guess, if you will, on the topic, and just some insight, and want to share that with folks. So today I wanted to discuss networking. He was like, "Do networking," and I was like, that's a good, good topic, because there's so many levels with networking. So with networking, right? You've got networking for business. You've got, I mean, that's pretty much networking for business. However, the I guess, subtopic of networking is relationship building. So that's what I kind of want to get to. Relationship building is really crucial and really important, and really, really important in this industry specifically. I mean, it's important in every industry. This is the industry that I'm in. So I can only drive home the importance of networking in the music industry, specifically in the vocal sector, if you will. So, why is networking important, and why let me back up. Networking is important, we got that, but why is relationship building important? Now, for a long time, and I really can speak on this, which is why I can see why he wanted me to talk about it, but for a long time I wanted to do everything myself. I was just like, because relying on people, ugh, it proved to be taxing. It was just so annoying. Like, if I'm asking a producer to, I don't know, get me, I don't know, what can I mean? I've always complaints with producers. I love my producers. I don't really have no real plights with them. I'm just saying, like, they can do so much that I can't. So I was always at the disadvantage of them. So I was like, okay, then I'm gonna need to learn how to produce just, a little better. The engineer, engineers that are working on your projects and then mixing your projects, you're just kind of like, I mean, okay, I don't really love this level. I don't. Okay, when are they gonna get? So I always wanted to. I've always been very business minded, very like da 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 da, da, right, and then also very efficient. Like, I really wanted to maximize on efficiency. So I was always kind of like, I just get so annoyed having to include other people, because when you include other people, you have to wait for them. This is a testament to my impatience, honestly. And, because I was just so like, blah, 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 that could really be translated as cold. It could be translated as selfish. It could be translated as um, just like not caring about the other person. And so it took me a little while to really understand because in my brain, it was like, well, what do I need relationship building for if I'm paying you for a service or if you agreed to do this? Like, why do I need to, like, this is what it is right now. And so I wouldn't always relate with folks. I would just be like, look, I'm just trying to get this done. Like, let's get it done. Let's get her, blah, 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 blah. And, um, and my grace with the Lord and growth. The Lord just kind of showed me like that's not how you do life. I was like, "Dang, alright." And I just started seeing the importance of relating to folks. Like everything doesn't have to be so business. Everything doesn't have to be so like care about the person. And so that started changing. I hate that I just smacked like that on the mic. Sorry guys. So everything started changing a little more for me in my mentality and just how I approached people and just loving people in general. Just understanding that people are more than machines, understanding that everybody is not like me, understanding that relationships are not just like based off of what you can do and what you can do for me. So once I started really getting that wrapped around my brain, I just started approaching things a lot differently. I wasn't so adamant about getting stuff done for the sake of getting it done and needing it to be done, as opposed to like really like caring about the person and what they had going on in their life and not like using that as a manipulative tool to get you to move faster, but like genuinely being like, okay, cool. You know what? You actually pretty cool. Let me hang with you. Let me chill with you. Now it doesn't mean that I'm being friends with every single person, because I'm big on that in terms of who I'm even calling friends. And excuse me, sorry guys, who I'm even calling friends or who I'm even entertaining as friends. But there's a human basic need to relate to folks without the attachment of an opportunistic thing, if you will. So what do I mean by that? I mean that like I get really annoyed when people try to be my friend or try to talk to me or try to like converse with me so often because they think I can do something for them. And in essence, it's kind of like that's what I was doing before, you know? And people could see that. They could smell it a mile away. They get annoyed by it. They can tell when you're being genuine and when you're not being genuine. And I think that a lot of networking has been deduced to that. So it's been like, okay, I need to be such and such because, I'm trying to blow up and do such and such. Like, it's all about getting ahead and how can you serve me versus even how can I serve you? And I think that, this is a very cutthroat industry in general. And it's just like, why be another knife? And I think there is a finessable, without the word finesse, because finesse can be really tricky, meaning it could be the word where, manipulation could be attached to it. I think that there is a finessable, meaning classy and genuine way that you can approach networking. And what does that mean? That mean okay, so let me backtrack. Relationship building is really, really, really important. Once I started like looking at people just equally in general, it started to change my mindset on how I would relationship build with folks. So meaning that like, okay, I see Puffy in the room, right? I'm not running straight to Puffy because of what he can do for me. There's so many other people that are in the room who are people. They're people first. Not to mention, there's so many other people who are talented as well who are in the room. And the other thing that I started actually recognizing and making a priority, or something that I paid attention to and really noticed, not notice, but really start to bring in my own, I guess, life, was realizing that I don't need Puffy, right? There is swollen. Puffy is swollen. They're swollen right down the street, and swollen is just as good, if not better, than Puffy. And I started approaching building relationships as, okay, these are people first. Their talents are awesome that come with it. And like, how about I actually just build teams with the people who are here and that I can touch, and who are resourceful, and whom I can help as well, who are like, it makes sense. Me waiting for, I know I use her a lot, but me waiting for Missy Elliott to be like, Tanika, I want to do a record with you, when I've got a woman producer over here. I've got a couple of that I'm thinking of right now, whom I love and work and can work with and have worked with. Like, why wouldn't I just work with them? You know what I'm saying? Because they're willing to work with me. They're just as good. We're all on the come up together. And that's what it's about. Like, that's how you build relationships. Like, when you're building a relationship, you're kind of like, you guys are sharing a common interest and you're growing, right? So when you think of, let's think of it romantically. When you're building a relationship romantically, it's like, okay, it's you and it's your partner, right? So for me, it would be my husband, whoever he is. I wish you would hurry yourself up on over here. Anyway, so let's just say me and my husband, right? Okay, we're building a relationship that enhances growth for both of us. That's a safe space for both of us. And we're building a legacy, and we're building a life that's going to be beneficial for both of us, for God first, for both of us, and our future kids and our future's kids. So what does that look like? That looks like common interests. That looks like, you helping me, I'm helping you. That looks like encouragement. That looks like, relationally, it's a build. It's genuinely a build. And if I'm building a friendship, okay, this friendship, I'm adding to them, they're adding to me. We have similar interests. We may not have similar interests, yet at the same time, they can pour into me, I can pour into them. And we're building. That's what like relationships look like. And that's typically what they are. And there are seasons sometimes where you may be pouring a little bit more into that person. And then there's a vice versa. And there's usually that give and take, and there's usually that common goal of growth, if you will, and just making things easier. The same is true for your business relationships. Excuse me. So you have to approach it that way. I mean, if Missy wants to work with me, that's amazing, right? That's awesome. I have things to lend as well. I don't have her status, if you will. I'm not Missy Elliott and been in the game for 25, 30 years. I don't think Missy been in the game for 30 years. But either way, let's say 25 years, right? So I don't necessarily have that level of expertise in terms of the years that are surrounded by it. But I'm a songwriter, I'm a vocal producer, I'm a singer. Like, I've got these other things that I'm really, really good at too that can contribute as well. So it doesn't make me less than. It doesn't mean my value is less than. I just have not been awarded the opportunities she has, per se. And I just haven't been in the game as long. So there's a lot that I can learn from her. While at the same time, there's a lot that I would be able to give to her as well. So when you look at it in a sense of what relationships look like and business relationships look like, a lot of people are charging for the biggest shark in the room. And they're like, oh, they could put my career on the map. I just don't I mean, I get it. I get the mentality. I don't not get it. Let me not say that. I don't not get it. What I don't get is is not having that thing inside of you, especially as a person that grinds and wants to kill it and wants to like really, really hit it, where you build your own team and you kind of build your own legacy. And you have folks around you that you're bringing with you along the way, or they're bringing you, or we're bringing each other along the way. And that comes with genuine relationships, and that comes with genuine intentionality, and it comes with genuine, like, I'm not just using you because you happen to be a dope producer. It's like, you know what? Let me pour into you. You know what I'm saying? Let me, and I'm not saying every situation is going to be like that, but what I'm saying is that when you are relationally, that was about to be a double word, but when you relate to someone, you actually care about them as a human being. And I think that a lot of times, especially new artists, they're not even looking at the person as a human as much as what they're looking at their talent and how that talent can benefit them. That's not the way you want to go about it. That doesn't produce longevity, and it doesn't build relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make I don't know, Pharrell say, you know what, let me hit Tanikka back up because we had that one session and she killed it, blah 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 blah. You know, when you have a relationship and there's a rapport there, you want to continue to work with that person. So let's get into it more. Okay, we've been getting into it, but let's get into it more. Networking. What is networking? Let's look up the definition of what networking is. Usually I have my definitions and stuff up together, but I think that whole camera situation got me all flustered. Let's look up the definition for network. My laptop is so far away. Goodness gracious. Um, okay. So the definition for networking, it says the action or process of interacting with others to exchange information and develop professional or social contacts. One more time, I'm gonna read it. The action or process of interacting with others to exchange information and develop professional or social skills. I'm gonna tell you right now, when people just walk up to you, I'm not gonna say when they walk up to you, but you know, when you're at like these different conventions or you're at like these different um whatevers, okay. And you walk up to somebody and you're like, hey, this is my business and this is what I do, and this is it. 9 times out of 10, unless you have like stellar idea that, you know, is like really, really new and fresh and people are really interested in, like people like that type of networking is annoying. It's annoying. Like when people come up to me and they're like, I'll give you a perfect example of two different ways that I'm approached in networking and which way actually makes me go, about it. Okay. Way number one. Hey, how's it going, Tanika? Oh my gosh, love your music. You know, love what you're doing out here. Can you check out my single? Would love to get your feedback. And you know, if you got any gigs or anything open, please keep me in mind. I'm a soprano. I sing. You know, blah 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 blah. Now, I appreciate the boldness. Right, boldness is great, and it is required in this industry. What I don't appreciate is the fact that you are just approaching me thinking that I'm going to be able to make all your dreams come true and like for your opportunity, for you, for your benefit, if you will. And I get that often. Trying to drink all of this by 5. Whew, there's how much I got left. I don't know if it's going to happen. So, I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I am speaking from experience. I have been there before where it's all about you and you just your career and you grinding and you just try and get out there and you just try and do what you're trying to do and blah 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 blah. The second definition for networking that's listed down here is the linking of computers to allow them to operate interactively. That doesn't really apply to us right now. But this first one, the action or process, right? It's a verb of interacting, it's an adverb, with others to exchange information and develop professional or social contacts. That is that's networking 101, right? Now, this is networking. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it. But what I would challenge folks to do is to actually build relationships because that's the longevity. Now, you guys know I'm always talking about the end game of longevity. It's one thing to get the one thing done, right? And get it and you come up and that's what's up. But the longevity, that's what's going to sustain you. And you guys know I'm big on sustaining. That's my whole MO with giving you guys a bunch of information because I want you all to have longevity in your careers and it to be sustainable. Now, the second example of networking that I have received that I love, that makes me go to your page, that makes me check you out, that makes me, is when somebody reaches out to me and they're like, "Hey, Tanika, um, I saw what you did. I don't know, say on at Essence, and you killed it. Love what you're doing with the background view. I'm from LA, and I see that you're out there often. Or the next time you come to LA, would love to sit down and kick it with you, and just pick your brain, and maybe we can link um, on singing." There was a lot of ums in there. That was just my own from thinking off the top. But I've gotten emails like that where it's like, "Oh, just keep me in mind," you know what I'm saying? Because I see you doing your thing and I love what you're doing, but would love to link with you. That's the key. Because at this point, you're while you're making it about you, you actually care about me. You're like, you know what? She seems kind of dope. Like I would kind of. It seemed like we would be cool. You my friend in my head. Let me check you out in real life. And I think that that level of relationship, what's the word I'm looking for? Awareness, people awareness is important. You don't just see me as just this girl that seems like she out here killing it. You trying to tap on and see how you can leech on and do the most. You actually want to have a conversation. You actually want to see what I'm about. You actually are interested in me. Like, oh wow, I've checked you out a couple times on social media, yo. Blah 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 blah. Now here's the thing: flattery is whack, right? But when it's genuine, like you actually admire this person from afar, and you're kind of like, yo, that person got a leg, and you're speaking to that, like that can be sensed and seen. And I think that that's the part in relationship building. Going up to Puffy and being like, yo, Puffy, I've been a fan since '98. I got these records though that I really think, you could really. It's like, no, no, no. So what are some cool ways to approach networking, especially somebody that you genuinely want to work with? Invest in them. And what I mean by that, it don't even mean monetarily. It means like, I'm going to use for the sake of, I used her several times today, Missy Elliott, right? That means I'm going to look up, I follow Missy. So it's like, oh, I know this is important to her. I see this, you know, she's got this illness. I forgot, but it gives her an overactive thyroid and all of that. Maybe not bring up the health issues, but I just mean like, if you see that she is a giver back girl of um, an organization that supports these types of health issues, like be interested in that, find out more about that, see what that looks like, and don't just link for the sake of manipulating Missy. Like actually genuinely dig in and be like, dang, that's what she's dealing with. Yo, that's kind of crazy. Um, Seeing that she got what was it, the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Now, obviously, you're not asking Missy out to lunch. Hey, Missy, would love to take you to lunch. But what you're doing is you're creating an interest that's beyond fandom, and also another way to really develop genuine relational um, interest is wanting that person to advise you on stuff. Now, this don't mean that you slide them your mixtape and you like, yo, would love to let you hear my mixtape and find out what you think about tracks 11, 12, and 17. What? No, it doesn't mean that. What it means is like, you know, you, going back to Missy, you really set the bar for female production. And like, I love how you approached your production for um, Monica. Knock, knock, knock. Come knocking, don't come knocking at my door. I don't even know where that came from. Ring, ring, ring. Telephone stop. I don't want you knocking, I don't want you bothering me no more. I don't remember the lyrics, but nonetheless, like, yo, like you bringing up something and being like, yo, what made you like do blah, 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 blah? Because, when I approach songwriting, sometimes, I'm like, yo, is this corny? Is this not? Like, ask genuine questions. Because guess what? They're people too. They're people too. You know what they get a bunch a day? A lot of fans. People fanning out, people wilding out, people loving them, people singing their songs off key and raising their hands and doing the most and doing the dances that go with it. They get that all the time. But if you want to genuinely build relationships, stand out, like ask questions. Like, yo, I just want to pick your brain about blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I was just curious about what you thought about such and such and such and such. Hey, what'd you think about, now don't start turning into the 21 question game. But when you see that they're willing to answer you, like, build a relationship. Now the thing is, the non-longevity person will say, well, I ain't got time for all of that. Well, why not? Because that's what it takes. Like, it's not an overnight thing. Oh man, it's 4:58, y'all. I don't think I'm gonna make it. It's not an overnight thing. And when you understand that there's longevity in relationship, especially one that you're trying to garner, especially one that you're trying to develop, if you will, it's not just a wham bam thank you ma'am. Like, it's not just a ooh, you gonna hear how lit I am and then boom, you gonna want me down. No, no. Unless somebody else that they have a relationship with or that they admire brings you to them, they're really not checking for you. They're not. So how do you network? Okay, so there's plenty of ways to network. This definition is one of them. And I think this definition is the core, the action or process of interacting with others to exchange information and develop professional and social contacts. So this is the core of networking. But how do you go about it where you can have longevity and sincerity? I don't know why I said sincerity like that. Sincerity, that's how I don't know what to say. How do you go about it? You care about the person. Yes, their talents are amazing. Yes, they may be Grammy nominated. Yes, they may be incredible at what they do. But again, they see fans all the time. You're going to be another fan. You don't want to do that. That's first of all. Second of all, if you're in the room with a bunch of creatives, yo, talk to everybody. Find out what they do and genuinely be interested in it. And if you're not, then move to the next person. Or just like, because I'm telling you, that like not interested, like that's how you don't vibe with people. And that's how you get these really fake surface relationships. And that's how you get nowhere. Honestly, you really don't. When you're genuine and you care and you make people feel like you care and not in a fake way, like, oh, I'm gonna just manipulate them and make them feel special. Like, bust it up with folks. I bust it up with people. I am myself with most people all the time. And I say that because, I mean, I'm myself all the time, honestly. And that level of being yourself, like one or two things is going to happen. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. And you have to be all right with if they hate it. Oh, dang, you don't like me? Because here's the thing, when everybody likes you, you're not being genuine. I will say that again. When everybody likes you, you are not being genuine. Something is wrong. You are morphing into something to be liked. And it don't work. It doesn't work. It just doesn't. So, how would I approach networking now versus networking 15, 16, 17 years ago? I would walk in, I would, um, if there's food, good. Let me give you an example. I was at a friend's wedding and it was like a cocktail hour and it was these really dope hors d'oeuvres and all of the things. And I was just around, I was just getting all the things. I said, "Oh, I want that. I want this. Okay." And then I was there with said celebrity friend, whom I'm not going to mention, um, whom we've met like in passing a few times. But this is a really intimate setting now. Okay, wow, you're here at the wedding, and I'm here at the wedding, so you clearly know these people, and I clearly know these people. Okay, you might be low key cool. Got it. So we're like, I'm a pescatarian. So we're trying to find the vegetarian pescatarian versions of some of the food because I know the bride is low key a pescatarian as well. So I was like, I know she got some of this food over here somewhere. And so we at the table, and he's like, "Yo, where you get that from?" I said, "Bro, I don't really know. I feel like somebody came over and gave this to me, but there's so much on this plate, and half of it I can't even eat. Blah 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 blah." And he cracking up. Why? Because I wasn't starstruck by who he is, and he sent me around, so that kind of helps too. But at the same time, he was just kind of like, "Yo, you cool. You're not looking at me for what I can do for you. You're just answering my question, and you're being human, and you're being normal." That's the best way to approach networking. You be human and you be normal. If you have like a starstruckism that you are like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, it's Beyonce, oh my gosh, it's Buffy, oh my gosh." Now, I'm not saying that you can't be like, "Oh man," like, like, "Oh, that's what's up. Wow, I'm in the same room with such and such." But you gotta get that together because these people are people. At the end of the day, people are people. And so as the story continues, I was like, I'm pretty sure that table over there, which is where I was making my way to, still has a couple, dish options that would, because what are you, vegetarian or pescatarian? What you, he was like, "Man, I'm trying to do vegetarian, blah blah." And I said, "Bro, let's go take a walk. Let's go see what they got." So we went to the table together. They did actually have some vegetarian options for us. And we was like, "Yo, I was like, "Oh, wait, we gotta chill though, because this is just the pre-course to the course." And he cracking up and I'm cracking up. And it just was what it was. It was a natural evolution of a conversation. And so from there, like all night, we would tap in, like blah 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 blah. Blah. Yo, did you check out? Did you what you get? You got the salmon, right? Yeah, man, I got the salmon. The salmon was banging. You know what I'm saying? And it's a relational do 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 thing. Like I'm not saying, "Oh my gosh, such and such. Can you please just listen to my single? I'm a huge fan of yours. I would love to get a feature with you." I would no. I'm trying to tell y'all, people get turned off by that. Regular people get turned off by that. So, celebrities will get turned off by that. Just be normal and be yourself. And I know it sounds like, "Oh, Tanika, that's like whatever advice." It's like, nah, I promise you that will go a lot further than nah. Like some of my friends who are celebrities, if you will, and I'm throwing the quotes around them because they really the homies. They're homies at this point. Why? Because I didn't approach them with, "Oh my gosh, can you sign my t-shirt? And can you," like, I just was like, and I also didn't approach them with, "What can you do for me?" I approached them regular degular. And if you think that you are going to get a multi-million dollar single in one meeting and in one setting, you don't understand networking. You just don't. Like it doesn't work like that. But I get it. A lot of people have the mentality of like, "Yo, I gotta make it now or never." And we're in a microwave generation, so everybody wants everything right now. But you get a lot further with building actual relationships. You get a lot further with actually caring about the person, their interests, and not just trying to jump on like, "Oh my gosh, I want you on this album and this project and blah 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 blah." I was making a connection with two celebrities where my one friend reached out to me to try and get me to get my other friend, if you will, to do a collab. And I was like, all right, I'll try. What's up? That's what's up. So I introduced my one friend to the other friend. And he was like, oh man, Nick, thanks for making it the connect or whatever. And I was like, yeah, okay, no doubt. So he's talking to my other friend, and they're talking literally for hours at this point. For hours. Now they both celebrities. They both popping. They both platinum. They both big time. But you know what he didn't do? He didn't say, so, I got this single that I really think you would kill. Because that's what he told me. He's like, yo, I got this single I really want the morning. And I was like, bruh, that'd be sick. And he was like, yeah, like, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna set up the meeting. I don't know what's gonna happen from there, but let's try it. And so he was like, all right, cool. And I made the connect and I watched him. I mean, to the point that I done left, came back, went and got some food, came back again. They're still busting it up. Why? Because they understand, even them on the same level. Well, he might be a little bit less than this one, but on the same level, slash, just in terms of stardom, if you will, and public eye, they respect the fact that it's like, nah, let me build real quick. Let me build real quick. And then like left it with like, Tanika got my information, so like, hit her up, blah 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 blah. Didn't leave with a yo, they gonna do the single with me. They didn't leave with any of that. Just said, yeah, I'm working on this project. Did not say like it would be amazing if you were on the project. Was just like, yeah, yo, I'm working on this project, yo, and it's called blah 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 blah. Yo, why you calling it that? You know what? And once they started getting into like real deep talk, I was like, great, my job's done. And I left. And he hit me later and was just like, and I don't even know. Now I don't even know. I know the single didn't happen, if you will. However, the relationship did, and the connect did, and they understood each other and understood each other's hearts. So if need be, in the future, it could happen without it being weird. Or they could have a conversation like, oh, yo, oh my gosh, it's so good to see you, blah, 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 blah. I mean, if celebrities approach networking that way, what makes you think you shouldn't? I mean, it's just a matter of understanding that the end game is not just let's get on each other's projects. The end game is not just how can you benefit me. It's like really building relationships. That's what I would say. That's the importance of networking well and networking with longevity. It's not just about like, because there's even friends that I'm cool with that I won't even, I'm saying friends, but celebrities I'll say that I'm cool with that I'm not even finna break out a camera and be like, oh my gosh, let's take a selfie. Sometimes I do, right? Just because it's fun and it's funny and it's like year after year, like let's look at these and I have a collection of them. But then there's just times where I'm just like, yo, we just busting it up. Like we're just chilling. So why am I because let's be real, like that's a thing. That's a oh my gosh. Like that's a what am I looking for? A benefit, if you will, to you. And people don't like that all the time. They're kind of like, and it still gives thirst, and it still gives fan, and it still gives all of that stuff. And so people they're thinking about that, and they're like, you don't really care about me. Now, what I will do is like, if I am doing like a, oh my gosh, let's take a, like it's like all of us, let's take it, or like, yo, you guys take a picture of such and such. Like it's not like this equity that I'm trying to build because the relationship part is actually a little bit more important. Does that make sense? Yes. Approach networking. Oh man, 5'11. I didn't make it. I thought I was going to finish. Approach networking as an opportunity to learn from somebody else. That would be my best advice on how I would approach networking. Not what I can get from this person, not what can this person do for me, not oh my gosh, all I gotta do is, get on this Justin Timberlake feature and my world is about to blow up. But it's more about the building part, the relationship building part. And I think that so many people are missing that. And so there's so many artificial relationships, as well as no relationships, as well as all right, now nobody's calling you back. And now you look thirsty and now you look crazy. I'm not telling you to be tenacious. I'm not telling you to be bold. But what I'm telling you is, I'm telling you the two different, what I'm telling you is, I'm telling you, it was so oxymoronic. But what I'm telling you is the difference when somebody approaches me with, oh my gosh, like, I'm a singer too, and I do such and such and such and such, and here's the link to all of my music, and please check out my last single, and, I would love to get your feedback on. Bro, I got so much going on in my own life. I don't really have time to critique your single. I don't. I don't. No, thank you. Whereas somebody approaches me like, "Oh my gosh, I love what you're doing, like super dope. Um, Next time you're in LA, would love to link with you and take you to lunch. Just get your feedback on the industry and how you tapped into it, or blah 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 blah. Or just hit me up and ask me a question that has nothing to do with critiquing their single. 'Cause I get those all the time. Hey, could you listen to my single? And could you tell me that? And I don't mean it in like a mean way. It's just like first of all, I'm not an A&R. So me just sitting around listening to your singles, like I'm not doing that, Unless I'm adding stuff to playlists, I'm not doing that. Like that's not my priority. So here we are. What do you think I'm gonna do listening to your single? I don't have a label. I don't like so I say that to say that approach networking as an opportunity to get to know somebody and relationship build and have them pour into you. Because guess what? Anybody can pour into you. Anybody can pour into you. If they got wisdom and they got knowledge, they can pour into you. But I think the problem is that, like I said, if I were in a room and it's full of artists and there's like some main artists in there, most people are running to the main artist. There's so many other people that are in that room that you can link and connect with and become cool with. Ow. That you can link and connect with and become cool with. Just off of GB. Oh my gosh, I'm about to be in LA for the next 4 weeks. Let's do brunch. And then you do brunch. And then you find out that the person that you're chilling with and that's cool, is a whole creative director. And it's like, yo, like, I love your vision for such and such. I would love to do blah, 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 blah. Some of the best networking is just organic evolution. Like, you ain't even talking about what you do. Don't nobody even know what you do. They just see that you in the same room as them. You happen to grab the same invites as well. And they like, pescatarian? You already know. Oh my gosh, how long you been a pescatarian? I've been a pescatarian for about 7, 8 years. Oh, word? Yo, I'm just trying out vegan. Da, 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 da. Yo, you know what? It's this person that I follow. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find them real quick. They got all the recipes. But connect with these people like people and don't care about what they do. And then next thing you know, you kind of start to gain interest in like, oh, who this person is. Or it turns into like, oh, what's your IG handle? And you just start to follow each other. And then you see that you got common interests. And then they commenting on all your stuff, and you commenting on all that because y'all got the same humor. Oh, who knew you was funny and silly at the same time too? That's what I'm talking about. And then next thing you know, you put something up that of what you're doing, because I tell you guys you should be posting yourself and you should be putting out there. I really hurt my thumb hitting that mic like that. Anyway, you're posting something and they like, oh, you got bars. Oh, you rap. Oh, you sing. Oh, you vocal produce. Yo, you know what? You know who you should work with? You should work with you should work with look at that. Who gets stuck like that? You should work with LMA. I don't know. She just popped out. Okay. LMA. Oh, where are you? You know what though? Um, I'm gonna connect you with what you call it. Thanks. Because they already know you cool. They already know you're not a fan. They already know you don't go crazy. And it opens the door. And they already know you ain't thirst trapping to get in where you fit in. they're like, you know what? She actually real cool. Not to mention she eat the same exact way I do. And like they also, they probably will bust it up with you a little more first, and then you start opening the other doors. The other doors begin to open. But when you kicking in the door, waving the 4-4, like all you heard was "Papa, don't hit me no more." Like, don't nobody want no Notorious B.I.G. throw in. Don't nobody want that. They're kind of like, no thanks. I don't know how I thought I ever was going to drink this whole thing. So the biggest takeaway from this video that I hope you take is networking should be natural. Don't force it. Don't say, oh my gosh, I see from across the room such and such and such and such. I gotta go talk to them. I have to go blah 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 blah. Now if you're like, oh, I want to get a picture because blah 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 blah, like that's one thing. But if you're like trying to force your way and like even the picture thing is, you know. But say for say, I had a girlfriend and she was just like, oh my gosh, I got to see such and such because I just did I forgot what she did. She did something where she honored like that person. And so she was like, oh, that's such a full circle moment. I want to grab a picture. That's what's up. That's cute. That's awesome. That's dope. It's not thirsty. She not trying to shove a single down her throat. None of the things. But when you're like, yo, I got this single, I produce it and it's sick. I nobody's trying to. They're just not. They're not. So you want to network naturally. You wanna act like you belong because you do. You're talented. You've got things to offer. You don't like these people are not changing your lives. They could in the right instance, but you want the longevity of that. You don't want to just come up it like especially if you're invited to a brunch. Now here's the other thing, and this is why there are certain people I do not invite who are I will not mention. But when you're going around and you're taking pictures with everyone and you're just hyped to be with celebrities, that's not networking. And when you're just like, oh, I want to go around and I want to tell everybody about my single and I want to, that's not networking. Networking is not like you stick out like a sore thumb when you like, oh, I got to meet such and such. I just want to network and do the, like, I honestly, like, while networking is a definition, we said it was a good one, the one that I just read. I honestly want to like erase it from your brain because most people are running to network and especially new artists with huge artists, and that's just not how it works. It's not how it works. It's not. And so they think, oh, I'm a network, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna da 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 da. And it's like it don't really work like that. You get further by really just interacting with people and being human and being there and not being a thirst monster. And for that reason, there are certain people that I will not invite backstage any longer. I don't really invite nobody backstage. I'm gonna be real with you because it just gets a lot. It becomes a lot, and then next thing you know, that is attached to you, and you be like, oh, like chill out, chill. You're losing it right now. It's embarrassing, and it's embarrassing for me. That's who it's embarrassing for. So I hope this helped. Networking, networking, networking. Approach networking, especially if it's somebody that you really, really admire, you like, and you think that they're cool as a human. As a human. I got a new friend now who we're cool as jacks too. And it's so funny because she was just like, she just see me and she was like, oh my gosh, what did you do here? And I was like, we're both from Philly. And she was like, that's right, that's right. And she was like, yo, take my number down, hit me up. And I was like, all right, cool. And so, we text here and there, but it's always about real stuff. Like I'm not, I actually, I asked her like, yeah, how's, your project going? Da, 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 da. She's like, girl, project is done. This is done, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, that's what's up. And then we moved past from that. We started talking about me teaching. We started talking about um, I mean, life stuff, obviously. So life stuff for me is like, okay, I just did this festival and it was bananas, blah 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 blah. But it's not like me putting in the plug like, girl, I also do vocal production. So if you ever need a vocal producer, feel free to hit me up. Like, it's not that. It's like, all right, that's what's up. Let me be cool and natural about it. And I'm only not dropping names because it's just that's corny to me. I'll say to me. Like, what I look like dropping, no. Because I'm really cool with people. So it's like, be cool with them. That's the way. And I'm trying to show you that you get a whole lot further this way than not. One last thing I want to say um, that I think is important and it's crucial is that you get a lot more with honey than you do with vinegar. So being abrasive, being rude, being nasty, like let me tell y'all also another thing. And I think this is probably a really huge key that people are I don't know if they're unaware or they just forget. But the folks around supporting the artist be the way to get in. So when you want to sit up there and dog the assistant, you want to sit up there and side eye the stylist. You want to sit up there and act as if the background singer ain't not, nothing, or the keyboard player ain't nothing. These people have relationships with said artist. So when you treat them like they don't, it like we talk about that. Like, bro, let me tell you, like, there was this fan who, like, low key did da 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 da. So, when it was backstage, I was like, nah, nah. Because guess what? Security knows us. Uh, everybody know, like, and if you know, right? So, if you're actually cool with that artist, you're cool with the people around because they're around. Like, it's such an intimate setting. So, you get a lot more with honey versus vinegar. And that doesn't mean in a manipulative way or a lying way or a fake way. You wanna recognize, okay? Just saying, just putting it out there. So that's all I got for networking, guys. Network nicely, please. Network cautiously, okay? And don't just network and try and build and get with people you think you about to come up with. Okay? I hope this was helpful and I hope you're taking down these notes. Like, I know this was a freestyle, free flowing conversation. Well, me just doing a lot of talking. But I hope that you really are picking up what I'm putting down and really even though, like I said, I didn't give bullet points per se, but I hope that you really understand that the information that I'm giving you is real talk. Like, it's not like, I'm not gatekeeping. That's how you network and have successful networking. All right. So explore your community, especially your community of artists around you. Network with them as well, where you guys can barter and help one another out. And be people. Be normal. Treat people like people. Okay. You're gonna get way further being yourself than being somebody else. All right. Peace. Next time though, I'm going to get this camera together. Okay.